weekend without fights, but luckily our patience is going to be rewarded with a hell of a card that we got lined up for UFC 273. Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie, and it's going to be a great night. You'll see when we get to the bangers, where it's maybe not necessarily a card filled with like just unbelievable fights, but pretty much all of them are at the least really intriguing to see what goes down in the cage and who comes out victorious. So we got a lot to go on about that one, including, besides just UFC 273, Julian Pena is still one of my least favorite talkers in all of MMA. The Apex era is still going, but it might be running out of steam. And we're going to take a look at UFC 273, including a preview of the card, the bangers for that, our predictions, and also a couple things like Khamzat Chimaev's ceiling, what would make Alexander Volkanovski the GOAT, and what fighter is really good at living up to their nickname. But of course, I'm your host, Ross Stell, and joined alongside by the best in the business, UFC/MMA correspondent Blake Campbell. And Blake, how are we feeling heading into this Saturday with a fun night of fights?
I'm pretty excited. You're so sweet with your introduction. I think it's all bullshit, but
it's just a little taint tickling, make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate it, my guy. I'm excited though, man. I'm very excited for this weekend. You know the boy Chimaev is fighting, so can't wait. Can't wait to see if he absorbs more than one significant strike this weekend.
I think, hot take, Blake, hot take, he absorbs 2. Actually, that might be a hot take. Given what we've seen.
You never know. With Chimaev, I mean, if he does the same thing he did against the Leech.
Bro, he just didn't put himself in position to get hit. Kind of great, right?
It's crazy. He just picked that dude up over his shoulder and just threw him down in front of Dana.
Talked to Dana. Oh, boy, that was so much fun. But, hey, Gilbert Burns, you saw what the MMA Junkie put out. That's a hell of a camp he's going through. So we'll see if it pays off. For his sake, I hope it does, because, bro, it looks like he's halfway killing himself in that gym every day.
Yeah, on that Versa climber, I was like, oh my God, I'd have a freaking heart attack if I did
I'm
that.
Dead. I'm dying. I'm down for the count.
Straight to some shadow boxing, like little punching drills after that. Or man, he's going to be ready for sure.
The chokes, I bet you those biceps have to be gone. Man.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey,
squeezing.
He does have some pretty good guns, though, so we'll see. But before we get into a little bit of, I guess, haven't delved into the trash talk. I'll put in quotes the trash talk that Julian Pena is going with. It's time to thank our sponsor. Take a listen.
Hey, it's the publisher here, Mr. Kelly Cole. Listen, if you are a former professional athlete, if you are a former college athlete or sports coach, and you're looking to launch your speaking career, let me tell you, you need a book. If you're already out there speaking and you want to track more high-paid speaking engagements, you need a book. It's not about creating more content to post on social media. It's not about recording a bunch of videos. It's not about doing more podcasts. The number one secret to attracting more high-paid speaking engagements or even launching your speaking career is a book. Hey, I'm the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole, and I help former athletes and sports coaches create best-selling books in 30 days to launch their speaking career, even if they hate writing and don't know where to start. So for the first time ever, I've created a free case study video that will not only show you how to write a book from scratch in as little as 30 days and become a best-selling author, it will also show you how to attract more high-paid speaking engagements. Now, to check out this free case study video, click the link that says learn more or go to booksforathletes.com. Real quick before you go, do not go if you're not a former athlete or sports coach, because you won't find any value in what I'm about to share. And don't go if your book is already out and already on Amazon. You won't find any value in what I share over there. But if you are a former athlete or sports coach, know that you need a book, or already out there speaking and you want to launch your speaking career, go check out that link now. Writing a book is not as hard as you think. It doesn't even matter if you don't know where to start. My case study video will show you how to start and get it done and onto the bestsellers list. So go now.
And of course, we'll have the links for those in the comments, the bio. Hit us up over on our socials. Go check that out because it's some really interesting stuff they got going on over there. Especially if you are an athlete like that ad called for. But without further ado, let's roll on into things because Juliana Pena managed to once again say everything and nothing and make it sound really stupid all at the same time. She has the talent for that, apparently, because in the same sentence, she was talking about Ronda Rousey, in the same sentence she was able to insult her, call her a joke, say that she wasn't good, but also challenge her for a fight. Now, I'm a little bit confused by how she was able to do that all at once. Blake, what are your thoughts on this? I think she's just annoying at this point.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I'm still kind of digesting everything she said. But yeah, I mean, it just sounded kind of almost like a hater, you know? Like, why are you trying to stampede on Ronda Rousey's name when, like, there's nothing in the UFC, like, there's no women's sport in the UFC, like, there's no women's division without Ronda Rousey. Like, that's the catalyst for all of this. That's who Dana saw in Strikeforce, if I'm not mistaken, and said, you know what, I want a piece of that. Like, not literally, but
I don't know, maybe.
I want to do business with that woman.
Derek Lewis
and he made her a star, or helped make her a star. So, I mean, I really don't get the point Juliana's trying to make, because Ronda Rousey, I mean, you could still go look at the pay-per-view listings. Like, she's up there. I want to say she's had at least one or two up there that broke, like, the million barrier. So not only is she a pay-per-view star, but she was also a legitimate, just beast in the octagon. Great. She was finishing everyone she would come across with arm bars, with whatever she needed to do, choking them out. So has the sport evolved? Yes. Do I think that she'd probably beat Ronda right now? Probably. But it's like,
Ronda that's been away for the sport for years now?
Yeah, she's not since 2016. So I mean, I'd hope you could beat someone that hasn't trained for 6 years.
You better be able to. Come on now. But
shoot,
you're so right about that. Especially when it comes to the pay-per-view numbers. I mean, Ronda Rousey at the least is selling hundreds of thousands. I don't think Juliana Pena, from her name, sells tens of pay-per-views. I have yet to see anyone that is genuinely interested in seeing her fight. And personally, like, I don't know about you, but I just don't care, dude. I don't care anything about this. Her fights don't excite me. Her promos don't excite me. I'm not looking forward to the next time she's in the octagon. I just don't care. And Tough, we already covered that when they announced that they were going to be the coaches, her and Amanda Nunes. I almost don't care about Tough. They ruined it. She's like, what's the opposite of Midas touch? Because I think that's what Juliana Pena has.
Wait, are they going to be the Tough coaches? Oh, I thought that was a nightmare I had. I forgot that was reality.
Well, let's come back down to earth, Blake. It's true, and it's horrible.
Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry to remind you of that.
Dude, I hella thought I dreamt that. That completely got just... No, you're right, because I remember them talking about shooting it, and it's already basically done, right? It should be getting released pretty soon. Well, I mean, to be fair, I am somewhat excited for her next fight against Amanda Nunes, just because I kind of want to see if Amanda Nunes can right the wrong, get back on track and reclaim possibly her GOAT status. But I think with all the reasons I just listed there, it wasn't really anything to do with Juliana. It was more to do with her opponent. So I guess I kind of do agree with you there. But yeah, it was just a weird angle for her to take, man. You don't really crap on the people that kind of, same thing with like kind of the thing that's going on with Conor nowadays. Like everyone starts to kind of crap on Conor. Now, granted, Conor is out there talking shit to literally anybody and everybody, so he probably deserves it. Yeah. So maybe it's not a complete equal kind of conversation,
I see where you're
but
going. All right.
Come on, just do your own thing and try to gain fans the right way. Don't try to like drag people down just to bring yourself up. I don't think it's a good look.
It's not a good look, and especially because you kind of allude to the fact that the only reason Juliana Pena is holding a UFC title over her shoulder is all because of Ronda Rousey. If it wasn't for Ronda, none of this would be happening. You gotta have a little bit of respect for the trailblazer of women's MMA. That's all. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. Because
no, not at all. I think you hit the nail on the head there, bud.
I'll be honest, I shit on Ronda Rousey from time to time, but at the end of the day, she is women's MMA. So you gotta put a little respect on her name at that point. Also, she's like when you're talking, she before those 2 losses, she was pretty much unbeatable, and people are talking about her in the same sense, like, oh, she could beat Floyd Mayweather. Now that was a little.
They were saying she should be on pound for pound. Like, doesn't even matter. Like, it should be a man's and women's list with her. That's how good she was.
People are really quick to forget, and I don't even think anyone knew who Juliana Pena was in the MMA world when Ronda Rousey was doing her thing. So, just saying. But another note, another thing I'm getting tired of, if I'm being honest, is the Apex era of the UFC. For a while, it's been fantastic, especially because the Apex was where we saw fights when no other sport in the world was taking place. The Apex led the way. They gave us a sport we loved week after week while we were in the middle of just not having anything else to go for. And the UFC is still applying for licenses, going into May now. But Blake, I think for what it is, it's great. But I also might be done with it, especially on the back of UFC in London and UFC Columbus, fight nights with crowds. I don't know, man. Where are you feeling on this situation?
I don't mind it still. I mean, yeah, it's when you have a card like UFC London and Columbus and the crowd roaring and all that excitement and energy in the air, you can't beat that. You can't replicate that with the Apex. But I mean, I think without the Apex, we're not going to have as frequent of cards. There's probably going to be a few more weekends like last weekend thrown into the year because, just man, the words escape me right now, but like logistics, like it's just going to be tough to line everything up like that, especially with the world the way it is still. Like not everyone's going to okay a big 20,000, 15,000, 60,000, whatever the capacity is, right? Event to happen in their city. So it's just going to be probably a lot of the same places over and over again or none at all. So I don't really have a problem with the Apex still. I mean, it does suck not having a full live crowd, but it's, I think it's kind of become the new normal. Hate to use that term,
boy.
But that kind of is
That's
what it
fair.
is now.
And do you think we ever get away from the Apex? Or is the Apex
I think it's going to be really hard
in the UFC?
I think it's a permanent staple because it's just so easy for them. Like, think about it, dude. It's right there in their backyard. No one has to leave
Pretty much
for work.
It's their
They don't have to fly anyone out.
Yeah.
It's their headquarters, exactly. It's right there. The PI is right there. I think they have a hotel that
they're building a hotel
or rent
right
out
now just for the UFC.
Yeah. So I mean, it just makes way too much sense for them logistics wise.
That's fair. At the least, I feel like maybe a pay-per-view a month, a crowd fight night a month, and maybe 2 Apex, a month, something along those lines. You think that might be the norm?
Yeah, I think at least, and if the world keeps improving, right, with this pandemic, it could be 2 fight nights, right? 1 Apex maybe, and a pay-per-view.
Fair.
So let's hope we just keep on the same right track and
right.
keep
I
improving.
guess we'll see, but let's give you a almost like a what if situation here because these are always great. So assuming that the UFC could get any arena, full capacity, anywhere they want, each week, would you want them to move away from the Apex?
If they could get any arena they wanted to,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'd personally, yeah. If you're telling me we have a choice between, a sellout arena and cricket Apex, like, yeah, I'd probably prefer sellout arena because you just can't replicate that energy, that vibe. It just creates that atmosphere, man. That I just feel like fighters perform a little bit better under the lights like that. At least some do.
That's a good point. If they could move away from the Apex, if they never had another fight night in the Apex, I don't think I would be disappointed. But at the same time, almost like Ronda Rousey, we're always going to have to remember and respect the legacy that this stadium has, or this, octagon has had. Even, I think eventually we will get no more Apex fights. I don't know if it's going to be years, might be a little more than 5 years or whatever. I think they're eventually going to move out of it. But it was a fun era. I mean, listening to the coaches, listening to these crazy knockouts just because there's nothing else getting in the way of it. It really has been something.
Yeah, it brought that new flavor. So no complaints, but yeah, I definitely would prefer having that live crowd, that full capacity live crowd.
And let us know your thoughts on that one as well. Do you want are you guys getting tired of the Apex era in the UFC? Are you actually kind of okay with it and just seeing maybe like a mix between Apex and fight nights with crowds and pay-per-views and stuff like that? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people with differentiating opinions, just like they do with literally every single MMA topic or just topic on the internet in general. Also drop your thoughts on Juliana Pena. Is she being disrespectful? Do you like her? Are you annoyed by her? Because I know some of you guys on Twitter are not fans, and we're right there in the same boat. But we're going to roll on into the next segment of this bad boy, and that is none other than What the Blank with Blake, as Blake gives us his blanks as he fills in the blanks. And I ask Blake to fill in the blank, and I still have no idea what I'm going to say. Each show I do this, I just kind of roll off the head, and I'm impressed every time. And I go and give myself a pound on the back, just like I do each week, because I'm amazing. But for those that don't know how this works, we have 3 statements for Blake, and they have a blank at either the beginning, the middle, or the end. It's up to Blake to fill in the blank with whatever he chooses. It could be a word, it could be a grunt, it could be a full-on essay. He could give us his own TED Talk. I don't care. Actually, I probably would care if you're talking for that long, because it'd probably get old real quick, but still, you have the option. But the first statement we got for you today, Blake, to fill in the blank, is blank will make Alexander Volkanovski the greatest featherweight fighter of all time.
This win over TKZ is going to really help. I think he's got 20 wins in a row, not just UFC.
MMA.
I think UFC it's 7. I could be wrong on that though. Let me see. I might be selling him short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, he has 10 in a row for UFC. Make sure I count.
Are we good? Do we need to break up the fingers?
So this is the thing with Volkanovski. He's had I think 2 performance bonuses out of his 10 wins in the UFC. Not saying he hasn't been in good fights, but it just hasn't been fantastic, I'd say. Like his fight against Chad Mendes, that was fantastic. His fight against Brian Ortega, his most recent fight, that was fantastic. I think he needs to have a couple more fantastic performances where it's like, okay, this removes all doubt.
His first fight with Holloway in there too.
Ooh. I wouldn't agree. I would. Okay.
Yes.
Competitively, yes, but he showed flaws in that fight, and there was a lot of people that thought that Max Holloway got that dub, and there was even more people in the second fight that thought Max Holloway got that dub.
The first one, I don't know.
There's a lot of people that thought he won that first fight.
Are you in that boat?
Not saying they're correct, but I'm saying there's a lot of people out there that say it and will defend it to their death. Okay. I'm not one of them, but I just want to make sure everyone's
Also, I just want to check, make sure you're not one. I know we agree on a lot of things here, except football.
No, I'm very much in the camp that Holloway won the second fight.
Yeah. It's 1-1.
But yeah. So I mean, I'd say, make a long story short, I'd say another win over Holloway. Really impressive win over TKZ, and he's probably right about there.
Hypothetically, he beats the Zombie this Saturday. Then they go on to have the planned fight between him and Max Holloway. He beats Max Holloway, and he beats him where it's visible. There's no debate, right? Is he the GOAT?
I'd say at that point, you kind of have to put him up there, yeah, because that'd be like 12 wins in a row.
Technically, 3-0 against the perceived greatest featherweight of all time, Max Holloway.
I think, the only time he had a catch weight, I think, was against Shane Young in 2017. So it'd be like at least 11 wins in featherweight.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
So I think you'd have to put him up there, man. He took out Chad Mendez. He would have taken out, in quotes, Max Holloway 3 times at this point. Did I already say Jose Aldo?
I don't know, but now you can. Yeah,
Jose Aldo. Darren Elkins, put some respect on the damage. I mean, it's his resume is ridiculous, dude. There's no way you can deny him. He's a stud.
In most of his fights, he clearly wins as well. I would say, and he might not get done in the prettiest fashion, but he goes in there and he is the winner. I really the only toss-ups I would see is the Max Holloways, and I guess specifically Max Holloway too. But besides that, man, there's been no doubt that that Alexander Volkanovski is a fantastic fighter, is an absolute force, and he's a tough night for literally anyone that they've thrown in front of him. So,
100%.
I guess not ready to commit to the GOAT status with the win over TKZ, but that'll set up another fight with Holloway, and that probably has the GOAT status on the line for either fighter. So that'd be fun booking, dude. That'd be fun. We were supposed to get a Volk versus Holloway last month. Technically. Now we're going to get it in.
Can't always get what you want, though.
What, November, December?
It's April, so yeah, I'd say October, November at the earliest, probably.
Fight. That could be fun.
That would be pretty sweet.
I would love to see a title defense at Marvel Stadium in Australia for Volk.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, probably not going to happen though, huh?
You're gonna have to talk to the people in charge over there.
Ring. I got his number. Yeah. What? I'll do it right now. Don't care.
It doesn't matter what you tell Dana, dude.
I'm calling Dana right now.
It matters what Australia says.
I'll call the Australian Prime Minister.
Dana literally, if you even had Dana's number, he would literally.
You want to bet?
Laugh.
You want to bet?
Yeah. How much do you want to lose?
I'm gonna call him right now.
Which Dana are you calling? Because it's not Dana White.
Right now. Yep. We're best friends. You didn't know this? We're best friends. Yeah, Dana, it's Ross, Yeah. No. Don't question how I got your number. Just real quick. I just want to see Volk in Australia. Fuck myself. All right, fuck you. All right, that didn't go well.
They don't call me the expert MMA correspondent for no reason.
I tried, guys.
Told you how that was going to go.
I tried. You can't fault me for trying. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a dumbass. I love this. Oh, I don't know what you guys want. Hey, but yes. But statement number 2, Blake. So this was a really fun one that brought up by the fantastic guys over on MMA On Point, because I think if anything, they are, besides us, they are the best MMA media company in the industry. I really do enjoy everything they put up. But they posed this question I thought it was great, and I will pose it to you now, Blake. The fighter that lives up to their nickname the best is blank.
Dude, this one's tough. I wish I had a little bit of some time to think about this.
To think about it, technically. You can take all day. This is a recorded show. We're not live. There is no commercial time strains. People just might get bored.
Yeah, I mean, like the one that comes directly to mind is, Colby Covington being chaos. But I wanted to try to think of something a little cooler.
We got TKZ.
If only Sean Strickland had a nickname, that was legitimate. I bet you he'd live up to it.
Sean Trailer Trash Strickland.
Straight Jacket.
Sean Controversial Tweet Strickland.
I like Izzy's. He is the style bender, but he doesn't have very much wrestling style. It's the only style that he's not a wrestling bender.
You're a wrestler now.
Yeah. Jan Blachowicz, the Polish legendary Polish power. He's sent a few people to the moon.
The immortal Matt Brown.
It's a pretty good one too.
The Predator.
The King of Cringe.
Is that tech? I don't know if that's his actual nickname, but definitely.
That's his freaking nickname. He's Triple C, bro.
Triple C.
He lives up to that the best, probably. It's got to be Triple C.
You think so? You go with Triple C?
Dude, if we're taking this question literally, then yeah, I'd probably say Triple C wins.
I was not expecting that, and I love the answer.
Okay, he's got the Triple C, bro. He's got the flyweight, featherweight, bantamweight, and
he got the Olympic gold medal around his neck, dude.
So he's Triple C, bro.
Undisputed, Triple C.
At some point, he's coming for that.
He's coming. Henry Cejudo versus Alexander Volkanovski coming up next, right?
I'd be here for it.
I wouldn't complain, dude. It sucks. Like, it's cool seeing the Koreans let me get a second title shot, but I would have enjoyed Volk versus Triple C.
That would have been just as good, if not a little more hype. But I don't know. I'm not from South Korean, right? So maybe it's
definitely not North Korean.
Who knows? Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way.
I don't think they let those people do anything.
Is there like an East and a West Korea?
I think it's
just north-south.
I think West Korea might be China, but also Asian countries don't like each other all too much. And trust me, I'm not even being racist. I am just speaking from knowledge. I was an exchange student in Japan, though. Those countries might be the most racist to the other Asian countries. Sweet damn.
That's wild.
It's hella wild. Also in Japan, I guess I only saw one black guy there, so it's definitely not the United States.
Diversity, bro. Inclusion.
Japan's wild. Japan's also the one that needs female-only train cars because, sweet damn, that country's a mess. There are things that I guess we won't go into. But as long as we're on Japan, shout out Sexyama, the GOAT. But we'll move away from that because I'll toe lightly into things we don't need to get into. But the last statement we got for you guys for this week's What the Blank is that Hamza Chimaev's ceiling is blank. Ceiling.
It's either gonna show up this weekend, or he's bursting through all predictions again. So, because I think it's either like, you aren't who we thought you were. If Burns beats him, right? And then if he beats Burns, especially if he beats Burns in impressive fashion, and doesn't absorb another strike, like Izzy and Usman are next for sure. Like, I don't think you can keep waiting on this guy at that
Can we
point.
see the triple champion, Khamzat Chimaev, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight?
Who knows? I think we still have a lot
I don't think
to
that's
find
off
out,
the table
but
at this point.
he's a
is
big dude.
Well,
He's a big dude.
Remember his wrestling match with Sean Strickland at 185?
I need to know what he cuts. Like, what does he walk around at?
He probably walks around like 200
keep in mind,
plus something.
I don't think it's not going to be a great outcome. I don't think. Like, there's just too much of a size difference. Like, that's why there's weight classes going up from 185 to 205, and people are cutting down to 205, and you're basically sitting there at 205 already.
So Izzy tried to do it.
That just is not. It's not
Hamzat's
a
better than
benefit.
Izzy.
A little, but there was still like a 30-pound difference between Izzy and Yang.
Yeah.
So it'd be
would-
interesting.
I
I'd
wouldn't
like to
doubt
see
it at
it.
this point, you know?
He might have the best chance of anyone on the roster currently.
He probably does, dude. I don't know. What do you think about him and Burns? Like, we'll get into UFC 273 here in just a second, but him and Burns, it's a huge step up in competition. You know, going from a couple unranked guys to a top 15 guy to a top 5 guy, you know? And the guy that's fought for the title. Do the odds, I guess, do the odds actually show what this fight is going to be, you know, with Burns being a plus 400 favorite? Or is he being a little bit overlooked in this one?
You mean
Yes,
underdog?
thank you. Underdog, obviously. Yeah.
It's tough to say. I mean, dude, Khamzat's a huge dude for welterweight, and Burns, I think he's more of like a natural kind of welterweight. Like if that makes sense. Like he's not cutting
he
a
used to
lot
fight
to
155.
get to welterweight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we got that going on.
So it would just be a little tough, I think, for Gilbert to overcome that size difference. But the technique, yes, 100%. I think this is going to be toughest challenge technique-wise. I mean, Burns has trained with Usman for years, and he trained with him again for this upcoming fight. So you know the pedigree's there, but I don't know. We've seen Burns get caught a couple times.
Got caught big by
So-
Usman. I think, wasn't that just a jab that Usman landed too?
Yeah, and Hooker. Remember Hooker back in the day too?
That was one of Hooker's like real hype train fights.
Yeah. So I think the line's decently fair. I mean, plus 400 is kind of
I guess
a lot.
I'll probably go
but,
plus 200 on this one.
I'd say I'd probably be around
250.
250. I'm fairly freaking confident. I'm like 250, 300
Okay.
range, maybe
But a little bit better
275.
than plus 400.
Yeah, I mean that's almost like disrespectful to Burns
Bro,
at this point.
A
It's like,
4-0
damn,
fighter.
the number 2 guy in the world, plus 400 underdog. Yikes!
Yeah.
That's got to be motivating though.
Apparently, it looks motivating as well, man. I mean, like the camp videos that we were talking about earlier. Sweet damn, it really looks like Gilbert Burns is coming from. So I think Gilbert Burns lands more than 2 significant strikes against Khamzat Chimaev.
I'd like to know the betting line on that.
Well, here, I'll set the over-under right now, Blake. Ross's betting line, MGM sucks, FanDuel, you know, all that stuff sucks compared to me. Over-under 13.5 significant strikes.
I'd take the under.
Really?
I think he's gonna
I'll
smash
put you
him,
at
bro.
6.5. I'll put you
Brother.
6.5 over-under.
I'll probably take over on 6.5. That sounds like a lot.
Does he break double digits?
Not over 13.
Damn, dude. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think I'm still picking Hamza on this one, but I feel like Gilbert Burns has a better chance than some people are giving him.
I think he has a chance, but it's like very slim.
He has to do everything right in this fight. He makes a mistake, he's going out.
It's just like fighting Habib almost, like you're going to get taken down eventually.
Yeah, fighting Habib, but at least
I think
these fights
really
are exciting.
The biggest thing for him might be his jiu-jitsu game. We'll see if he can, create something on his back, because I'm going to assume that Hamzat's going to take him to the ground pretty
He's probably going to be
easily
flat on his back.
and
I think
probably
it's safe to say
early.
one way or another.
Yeah. So, and then from there, it's just like, smash time.
Dude, it's not fun to be on your back with someone with insane pressure. That's what I have happening in my fight camps, and dude, it just sucks. So I can't imagine what it's like to be on the ground against Khamzat Chimaev. So apparently, we're going to find out really soon. And speaking of finding out really soon, we're going to figure out a couple things right now, including Blake's bangers and our predictions for UFC 273, because we're going to roll on into the closing one of our last segments here and take a direct look at the card. Of course, 2 title fights taking place this weekend. 1 title unification bout between Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan, the People's Champion, who we all know is Agile Champion. And we're just going to see, this is not a title defense for Aljamain Sterling. This is going to be his first title fight, really, to be able to regain that, to be able to take that gold. But this card, like I was saying earlier, there might not be necessarily a bunch of bangers on this one, but nonetheless, there still are a lot of intriguing fights on this one. One of them being Julio Arce against Daniel Santos. I'm looking forward to that one. We see Anthony Fluffy Hernandez back in action. None other than Aleksei Olenek and Jared Vandera. Where I saw something here, Blake, where when Volkanovski won like a wrestling championship when he was 12, Aleksei Olenek was 7-1 as a professional MMA fighter. And now they find the same card. That's ridiculous, right?
That's crazy. I mean, he's been doing it forever, though. So,
bro, I swear he might be the first fighter to get to 100. 100 professional fights.
What's he at now? Like 60?
At 76.
76.
He
wow.
might do it.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get to 100. I hope he gets to about 80 and calls it a day.
He's going to end up in Bellator fighting until he's 80 years old, which is about the average age for half their main events recently. So I don't think that's the picture. Sweet damn. But then we see Mickey Gall coming back into this one. Aspen Ladd potentially fighting to avoid being cut from the UFC, pending the weigh-ins on Friday. So we're going to see how that one goes. And a pretty good test against Raquel Pennington as well. We see Rosenstruik taking on Marcin Tybura, which is actually has the potential to be a really, really great heavyweight fight, and someone probably going to get put on their rear end in that one. Also, I am looking forward to a really solid women's strawweight contender bout between Mackenzie Dern and Tisha Torres. That one's going to tell us a lot for either fighter. But Blake, let's get into it. Let's stop them from waiting, and let's get into Blake's bangers for UFC 273.
Alrighty, first things first, we're going to go with Ian Gary versus Darian Weeks.
Next big thing in quotes.
This should be a good one. We got a hype train with Ian Gary going. Full steam.
Is it full steam? He was almost derailed in his first fight.
It's definitely full steam, brother. Until you get stopped. I mean, same thing with Paddy Pimblett. It's full steam ahead until you get stopped. Everyone, it's a fight. It's a fist fight, bro. Like you're supposed to get punched in the face. Next, we're going to have our featured banger. It's going to be Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. I mean, you can't tell me you didn't see that one coming. And then last but not least, of course, they might be the shortest, but it's not the least, Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling.
Hey?
We're going to run that back and see who is the actual champ, who is the real champ of the division.
We talked Burns and Chimaev a little bit more in depth. Let's get into Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan for a second here, because likewise, while I was feeling with Gilbert, I think Aljamain Sterling has a way better chance of winning this fight than he did the first fight. Am I off base on saying that?
No, I think that's fair to say. I mean, he's been in there now. He's experienced the power, the speed,
the
the
pace.
precision. I mean, he's got a little bit of a feel for his game, so he's going to have a little bit more of a detailed game plan, I'd say, just from firsthand experience. Now, it's up to him if that's going to help him or not, because that could make someone potentially more gun shy. But hopefully for Aljamain, it just shows him like, okay, this is what I needed to work on. This is what I need to exploit better next time, and hopefully make those improvements going into this fight.
Is there an obvious path to victory for Aljamain?
For me, not really, man, because Piotr is just good everywhere. It's really, I think his best chance would be to kind of Corey Sandhagen his ass and catch him in the first 30, 40 seconds like he did against Corey and
Ain't no way
choke
he
him
beats him on
out.
the feet. Piotr Jan might be one of the best. He might be the best boxer in the UFC. Top 3? Him,
Tough to say.
Holloway.
I'd have to really go through it. And
Yeah,
look.
we talked about this last time when he fought Corey Sandhagen, so it's been a little bit. But he's
got slick boxing, though. I'll tell you that. It's not even just boxing, though. It's like he's throwing spinning back fists. He's throwing heel kicks. He's throwing everything, including the kitchen sink. So
now
he's the full
though,
package,
dude. Because prediction wise, I got Piotr Jan this one. Technically getting his gold back, but at the same time, I almost want to root for Aljamain Sterling just because Twitter would explode, the MMA community would explode, and I would have a lot of fun watching that.
Oh, they'd lose their minds. They would lose their minds.
Funny.
But yeah, I got Piotr Jan third round TKO.
Let's go number 2. I'll one up you. Number 2 TKO. I want Aljamain. You know what? Screw it, dude. I'm so on this. I am absolutely 100% rooting for Aljamain Sterling in this fight, purely for the chaos that would come from it. It'd be so fun.
Rooting, but you're not betting for him. That
Oh yeah, no, you're damn right. I'm not betting for him. You think I got money to waste? That'd be like putting money in a garbage disposal, dude. It's just no. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. But I guess the real question here is, what happens with Piotr Jan's corner situation? Apparently not Triple C anymore.
Well, it sounds.
Oh
yeah, it sounds like the dream team's not going to be getting together.
Dude.
We saw the tweet from Cejudo, I think it was yesterday, saying, God, I can't remember. He basically said like, there's too much illegal activity going on. I'm nobody's water boy. Between O'Malley's steroids and your knees, there's just too much illegal activity going on. And then Sean O'Malley tweeted out, if Piotr Jan flies me out, I'll corner him. So I still don't know if he's being serious or not, but that'd be hilarious. I mean, it's what, Tuesday? He's got to make a move, bro. He's got to get him out there soon.
On the private jet?
Make it happen.
I want it. What do you think, actually? Are we going to see a bit... I guess it wouldn't be like a full Mike Perry girlfriend situation, but a Mike Perry situation in the way that where he doesn't actually have a corner?
I don't know.
Don't bring in a lucky fan from the crowd to hold his water.
Either I'm not paying enough attention, and I feel like I'm paying decent enough attention, but he's keeping it pretty hush-hush. Like,
he's been quiet.
I think that might be a little trick up his sleeve he has.
He's going to bring out Aljamain Sterling's mom. Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Maybe,
She's going to be in the crowd,
I don't know. It'd be kind of funny, though.
That'd be terrible. She'd be betraying her son. That would literally make me throw up.
It would make you throw up.
Yeah, I would stream the pay-per-view just because she pulled that madness.
I think I'm going to stream the pay-per-view anyway.
I'm buying it this weekend, dude.
Well,
I buy every pay-per-view. I'm not broke.
Blake, we're not all rich like you, okay?
Come on, bro. Just get a state job.
With that Dana White privilege.
You know? Just need that state job.
I wish it was that easy.
That government money. Come on.
Get them to say job, you little bastard. And then main event time. Alexander Volkanovski, the Korean Zombie, going for what his third title defense. So,
I think so.
Beat Max Holloway for the belt, defending.
For his third.
The third title defense. The Korean Zombie gets his second shot at UFC gold. Now, the Korean Zombie is walking into this one with according to FanDuel, a plus 500 underdog, and I'm not really too surprised by that one. If we're going to be honest here, lastly, the Korean Zombie fight, he lost to Brian Ortega, and then he beat Dan Ige on what was a pretty solid fight. So, what do you think happens here, Blake? Are you still getting and is Volk getting another ruby onto that belt?
For sure going to get an and still. I'm trying to decide which round he's going to TKO him in.
The Korean Zombie gets TKO'd.
I'm going to say another round 3. Round 3 TKO. Volkanovski's going to murder him.
I will say that we get championship rounds out of this one. 4th round TKO, Alexander Volkanovski. Fair enough,
Fair
right?
enough.
So... And then obviously we're both going Hamza. Let's just round out the main card over here. Mackenzie Dern, Tisha Torres. I got Dern. Decision.
You're making me choose my predictions right now when I haven't done my full research?
All right, do you want to defer?
You're just going to make I'm going to forget who I fucking
Yes
pick.
or no? I'll tell you mine right now. And
I think Tisha Torres pieces her up.
Almost like was it the Marina Rodriguez fight?
I'd take Tisha Torres and I'd take Mark Madsen.
I am torn on Pichel and Madsen. I don't know why. I don't think I should be. Also, news as well to you guys. Vince Pichel does have his own merch, but also he replied to me on Twitter. I asked when he was going to put a replica mustache on his merch store, and he said it is coming. So, are we going to be able to buy mustaches? I would love to be able to wear that mustache. It's a hell of a mustache, dude.
Yeah,
it's a good mustache, man. A little bit of elbow action there. Ah, man. I guess Madsen decision. You thinking that same route too?
Yeah, I just think he's going to kind of ragdoll him a little bit.
I'm torn. I really like Mark Madsen. I respect him. He's good, but also I love Vince Pichel. Is it okay, Blake?
I think you're going to be all right.
Well, as long as you think so, I think I'll be all right too. But yeah, our main predictions were both. We're actually all on the same page here with Hamza Chimaev, first round TKO.
Damn, we're giving rounds for every single one.
This is fun. What do you want? Get the people what they want. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is just spitballing, guessing in the dark at this point.
That's what I'm doing.
For the way that I'm picturing it in my head, yeah, I'd say first round TKO. Maybe even a submission.
That'd be funny if he submits Gilbert Burns, but that feels like something he tried to do there. They were also both rolling with Piotr Jan and Alexander Volkanovski. Of course, we'll be dropping our full predictions on that Saturday. We'll see if we can actually dethrone Jalen for the first time in 6 pay-per-views, because sweet damn, it's getting real.
Yeah, we'll see if he keeps choosing all the favorites like always. Dude just goes on Google.com and picks just the favorites of every single fight.
I guess that's champion's advantage, bro. I swear, I've tied with him 3 times.
Can I be honest? I don't use sites, bro. I literally look at the card. I don't use sites. I look at the tail of the tape, and then I make a personal decision. So my record is all me. That is me.
I don't even cheat. I don't even use Bully's picks because, Bilal Muhammad is pretty good with predicting these things. But even I stay away from that. It's 100. We're 100%. We keep it real with you. I don't care what the odds say, bro. I might look at the odds for, a prelim fight or two, but that's about it.
Truth comes out.
The main card is always, it's always on me.
Casuals. You guys are casual pickers.
I'm trying to win.
Yeah, you ain't doing a good job
Are you trying to win?
I'm just trying to pick the right fights. If I win, I win. It's hard to win when people choose all the favorites.
I like underdogs though, but I just don't like any of these underdogs right now. Blake, I love
Yeah.
a good, plus 150, plus 200 underdog. I'm not sure if I like to roll in the plus 500, plus 400 range. It doesn't feel as good.
Before the show started, you were just saying you wanted to bet a parlay on a zombie, Burns, and
throw 10
and
bucks
Aljo.
at that just to
So
see
I
what
don't know.
happens. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, $10 wouldn't be bad. Still be just wasting $10.
That's
though.
why I'm not going to do that. But if that does happen, I will cry because I should have. But that's the name of the game. That's what it be like. But we're going to cap things off here, ladies and gentlemen, of course, with none other than the only way we know how, and that is with the nay of the week. And we're going outside the UFC for this one to if you want to put in quotes, a rival promotion. I don't know necessarily if there's real rivalry to there. But Bellator's Bantamweight Grand Prix is not really looking too good at this point, Blake, because I think so now they have lost the co-main event for an upcoming pay-per-view, and that's Josh Hill getting pulled from the card. I think this is like it's at least the third, possibly the fourth fight that has been scrapped and having to be replaced from the Bantamweight Grand Prix. It's kind of tough.
Not ideal.
Yeah,
I'll
not
say
ideal.
that.
That's a great way to put it. But of course, I don't really see too many people out there heartbroken because it's Bellator. So
How many people are going to watch that in the first
20,000,
35.
35. Hot take. Does Bellator break 50,000 buys?
Hell no. How has it even broken 10,000
I don't
yet?
even know. I wouldn't be surprised. Probably.
I would never buy a card like that.
With Pitbull and stuff like that. There's more than 10,000 non-casuals out there. I am the casual of casual when it comes to Bellator, though. I just don't care. Yeah.
There's just not enough top-end talent to compete.
Hey, all I know is that the greatest Bellator fight in history will go down as, I don't know, Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000.
At this point.
That legit might be the worst fight ever. What would you rather watch for the end? So Blake, just theoretically, you had 10 years. You had to do nothing but watch Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, or watch Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000 for 10 years. What are you choosing?
Probably Derek Lewis, just because he might say something funny.
But he didn't.
Yeah, but you're saying if I have to watch him over and over and over again.
Like a recording
same fight
of the
or
fight.
what?
Just a replay of that fight for 10 years in a row.
Yeah, I'd probably watch Derek Lewis and Francis, it'd help me go to sleep.
That's a good point. I'd be laughing too hard trying to watch Kimbo in Dada, and that was just horrible. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into episode 85 of UFC Talk, getting closer to that coveted 100th show. Of course, go ahead, check out our ad for this episode. You'll be hearing from them a little bit more because they give us a great deal. So please, if you want to support the show, go just give them a little bit of love as well. Because I like money. And speaking of money, Patreon. Yeah, I am shelling out hard for this one. Patreon.com/fourth and long to get started today, starting just $1 a month. And that could get you a bunch of goodies. Also varies at the tiers you go with. Shout out to Ray Rodriguez, Ryan Watson, and Neil Wiley. Also, I'm still wearing a hoodie. I know it's April. I don't care. In Idaho is in the 40s and 50s right now. So in the northern states, it's still a little bit chilly. It's still great time to get one of these amazing hoodies all over at thefourthandlong.com/apparel. Hats are coming out this month. I will finally get those orders, so get your last minute orders in. And also, might not be wearing this one, but the Inspired by Blake collection, the certified banger, Fourth and Long MMA apparel. It's sexy, it's amazing, it's the best stuff ever, and you're going to want to get your hands on that. But Blake, your thoughts on Juliana Pena in one word or phrase?
Relax. Just take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
Take it easy, Juliana Pena. But if you have takes against her, do not take those easily, and let me see them. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you after a fantastic, hopefully, UFC 273.